All right, we've taken you to several local watering holes here on California Live, but Jess, you found what you're calling a brew oasis by the beach.
Yes, they call it the brew oasis, and I was super excited to check this place out in Santa Monica, and it's truly one of a kind, so take a look. Los Angeles has become one of the fastest growing destinations for craft beer. Brew pubs, breweries, microbreweries, who can keep up with all the terminology? Lucky for you, this isn't a test in craft beer vocab, but an intro to the West Side's only local brewery? Well, now we're talking. This is Santa Monica Brew Works, and Scott Francis is the man behind this booming beer destination. Putting a brewery in the heart of Santa Monica was no walk in the park. You're what, like a mile away from the beach?
Exactly a mile.
Prime location. So what inspired you to create this brew oasis here in Santa Monica?
So my partners and I have a mad love for both Santa Monica and great beer. And we just decided to combine the two, and here we are.
This is so crazy to me. You were in the music background. You had nothing to do with beer. So how did you segue into the craft beer movement?
Well, the only thing I knew about beer is that if I drank two, I fell down. That's basically it. I met a bartender who had a great idea. There should be a local beer in Santa Monica. And he came up with that idea because people used to walk into the bar where he worked all the time and say, "What's your local beer? What's your local beer?" And he would turn around and come up with some crazy answer. And finally, he and I were introduced to one another.
So there's so many words being thrown around. There's microbrewery, there's brewery, brew pub. What is this considered?
So the word I want to say, it's authentic, which means that what you see on the can, Santa Monica Brew Works, we actually make our beer in Santa Monica. We are a production brewery, which means
it's all right here.
we make a lot of beer right here, and every time you drink our beer out and about through Southern California, you're drinking beer that was made right here.
All right, you know what, Scott, there's a lot of talk about beer. I'm a beer girl. I want to go back and see how it's all made, so let's do it.
So this is where we start off. We take our grain and we put it through our mill. We send it into our grist case. We crack the grain in the mill, and we let the grain sit there until we're ready to brew. And then we send it through up these pipes, which are called augers, into our mash tun. And all the grain sits in this mash tun, which is filled with very hot water, and the water takes on the characteristics of the grain. We add hops in there, and when we're ready to roll, we take it and we push it through this heat exchanger. We cool off the beer, and then we send it to one of our fermentation tanks where the real action happens. We add yeast in here, and we let the beer ferment. Each of our beers ferment for different periods of time, somewhere between 14 and 19 days. When we are ready to actually package our beer, we send it to our bright tanks where we carbonate our beer.
And you know how the rest goes. Well, they bottle or can it, seal it, and we get to drink it, which is what I came to do. A little beer tasting, of course. All right,
we have 4 of our core beers here: our wit beer, our extra pale ale, our golden mouth porter, and our California blonde. We also have the award-winning Head in the Clouds on top.
Ooh. Listen, if you want a locally crafted beer in the heart of Santa Monica, you got to come down here to Santa Monica Brew Works. It is the only local brewery here, and I guarantee you your time here is not going to be a disappointment. So, cheers.
Cheers.
It's so cool that you can see the entire process and then taste the product.
Yeah, it's a lot of tasting there.
Oh, yeah. It's fun.
Oh, go to our website, NBCCALive.com.